In Acts chapter 20, we're reminded that the Lord Jesus once said, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." Now, I know we hear those words and sometimes we wonder, what exactly does that mean? And as we've been studying this book, The Treasure Principle, in chapter 2, we're given this whole chapter that describes this act of giving and the way it brings us joy. So giving does something to us. It does something in our hearts, it does something to our affections and in our minds. And I think it's something that is often missed, and it might even be the missing link that's causing you not to have as much joy in your Christian life as you could be having. So here at Crossview, we have this core value that we call joyful generosity. And of course, when we say that, we initially mean to be joyful in the way that we share of our time, treasures, and talents. We're joyful in the way that we give. But giving itself also brings joy to our hearts. And I think that's what Jesus was talking about when he said, it's more blessed to give than to receive. As we consider the way that giving impacts us, I want you to think about this illustration. Have you ever had an opportunity to give someone a gift that they didn't know you were planning to give them? Maybe it was a stranger, maybe it was a friend, or even a family member. But regardless of that scenario, you had something special to give. Maybe it was special because it was special to you. Maybe it was a monetary thing, and you had an opportunity to really help someone who was in a time of need. Now, I want you to imagine you're in that scenario and you're in the process of giving this person this gift that might change their life or might help them overcome a particular scenario or situation. Just remember the joy that happens when that goes on. Think about the way your emotions feel, and think about the smile that it brings to your face and how it just makes you feel like you've really accomplished something for someone else. You've done something maybe selfless, thoughtful, and caring, and you've just given to another person. What could cause us to want to do that on a regular basis? What could give us the motivation to be giving in that way? We know through experience that giving like that brings joy to our hearts and makes us excited and happy. What do we need to do? How can we motivate ourselves to remember to do that in an ongoing way? Well, in the second chapter of the Treasure Principle, one of the key things that Randy Alcorn discusses is the fact that we're reminded that all of the stuff that we are given, all of our resources, all of the money that even things that we earn, it belongs to God first. And so when we take that mindset and we remember that we are more like money managers than just people who earn and then cling to things. When we think of ourselves as God's resource managers, it puts us in position to distribute the resources in a kingdom-minded way and to benefit from the joy that God delivers to our hearts when we do that. When I think about this, it reminds me of the fact that I have an opportunity with the resources that God has provided to make someone else's life better. I have an opportunity to invest in kingdom mission-oriented opportunities that maybe I can't go participate in on my own. For example, I would love to be able to go visit the church plants that we have helped to be a part of in Africa. I've never been to Africa, but I know that through the updates that I see from Pastor Lucky and others who are involved in the Africa Church Planting Initiative, that they're doing incredible work for the Lord. They're reaching lost people, baptizing new believers, they're evangelizing, sharing the gospel. All of these amazing things are happening, and I've never been able to go there. But I can tell you one way that we've, as a church body, been able to participate is by sending resources to them, especially in times of need. We have responded in a couple different ways that maybe if you've been around Crossview, you remember, where we've been able to actually help out with specific needs at really strategic times. Now that puts us where we're able to send out resources that God has blessed us with here in the United States to a group of people who we may never meet, never see, but we trust that they're doing awesome kingdom work, and our resources are able to support that and help that. That's the kind of thing we can do when we give joyfully. But it doesn't have to be that big or that amazing vision either. It can be as simple as offering a helping hand to the person sitting next to you in church, or seeing a friend in need and being willing to meet that need, or seeing a family member who just use a little help to get by. These are ways that we can be joyfully generous, and in return, God says, you will have joy in your hearts when you give that way. This is an incredible gift that God gives us. Just another way that His grace is amazing. He first gives us the resources, and then as we use the resources to bless others, He then in turn blesses us again. It's incredible. It's an amazing circle and a cycle of joy and generosity that I would love to invite you to step into. So if you haven't quite checked out the Treasure Principle book yet, you can. You can also check it out on Right Now Media. I invite you to let us know if you need an account. We can get you one set up for free. So that's the Treasure Principle Part 2. I hope you continue to join us as we dig deeper into this awesome resource.